Hi guys, what's up? Back here with the Rain Channel. Today we're going to be reading Spring According to Humphrey by Bethany G. Burney, Chapter 12, Family Matters. So, let's get started. Chapter 12, Family Matters. The next morning, my classmates ran over to our table to check on tadpoles. And they didn't even say good morning to me. To speak the truth, I was trying not to look at the tadpoles. Look, Simon shouted as he raced to our table. Wow, I couldn't help it. I reached inside my cage to look at my neighbors. There they were, swimming around their aquarium. Their heads and legs had changed overnight. They didn't exactly look like frogs, but they were definitely not specks anymore. My friends all crowded around the aquarium. Joey, They didn't exactly look like frogs, but they were definitely not specks anymore. My friends all crowded around the aquarium. Joey opened his notebook and began to sketch. When Casey arrived, her cheeks were pink and her eyes sparkled. I can't believe it. I found another nest in the front yard, and it has 4 eggs in it. Everyone gathered around her to see a photo she'd taken. Aww, they said, and they're so cute. I'm calling the first egg. I'm calling the first eggs Eeny, Meeny, and Mo. Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. Casey said. Now I have to think of 4 more names. We still need to get the tadpoles' names, helpful Holly said. How about Nog and Yog? How about Nog and Yog? Yog? After their Uncle Og. Nog and Yog. Their Uncle Og. Daniel suggested. I leaped up and pointed. Boing, boing. Friends giggled, but I didn't see what was so funny. How about Dippy? Kelsey said. Dippy and Lippy. Dippy and Hippy. Thomas shook his head. Those are good names. Thomas shook his head. Those aren't good names. I still think they should be Tad and Pole. No one else liked the idea. Simon said. Max and Mickey. Tall said. Max and Mickey. Those are Disney characters. Max is Goofy. Rose frowned. What makes you think they're boys? One of them might be a girl. Both of them might be a friendly way. Finally, Rosie said, flip and flap. That doesn't sound like boys or girls. Those sound like names! And so did my friends. Welcome to room 26, flip and flap, Mrs. Brisbane said. Now, students, please take your seats. I started the day by revealing my classmates' family trees. It's fascinating to hear the names to my friends' parents. Next, Mrs. Brisbane showed them where to add their grandparents' names. Grandma and Grandpa, Harry said. Simon groaned. Bubble and Zeta. Abu and Abdul, Fluffy said. Rolling Rosie gave him a thumbs up. Mine too. Goodness, there were so many names for grandmothers and grandfather. Pop and Dima, Granny and Gramps. Papa and May May. One things for sure. Mrs. Brisbane said, no matter what you call them, you all love your grandparents tonight. Please add their real names, first and last. Then we'll add your aunts, uncles, and cousins. I'll hand out an example that shows you where to put them. I have a lot of cousins. Stop talking, Sophie said. Mrs. Brisbane nodded. Then you'll have a lot of apples on your tree. Lumpy said, let's make Humphrey's family tree. The whole class thought that was a good idea, but I wasn't sure I had a family tree or even a family. Who are Humphrey's mom and dad? Sophie asked. Where did he come from? Mrs. Brisbane thought for a moment. Smack got him at Pet-O-Rama. I didn't remember my family, but I remember Pet-O-Rama and the wonderful day Miss Mac chose me for the classroom pet in room 26. Of course, I didn't know she was a substitute for Mrs. Brisbane at the time. I didn't know she'd be leaving Longfellow School for a while. I'm glad she finally came back. Humphrey must have had family, Nicole said. I must have agreed. I remember Carl and some of the other humans who worked on Pet-O-Rama and took care of us in the small animal department. But I didn't think of them as family. They never even talked to me. Mrs. Brisbane said that when humans or animals grow up, they leave their families and go out on their own. Most of you will move out of your parents' home when you grow up, she said. Smaller animals grow up faster than humans, so they can leave their mothers much sooner. Does anyone here have a dog that they got as a puppy? Some hands went up, including Joey's. Dogs are usually adopted by human families when they're puppies. How long does it take for a puppy to be ready to leave its mother? She asked. Joey said Skipper's about 8 weeks old. He wasn't grown up until he was about a year old, but he still acts like a puppy sometimes. So it only takes a year for a dog to grow up, her teacher continued. And it takes even shorter time for hamsters to be ready to leave their families. That's sad, Rosie said. Not really, Mrs. Brisbane said. It's natural, and if Humphrey stayed with his mother or Skipper stayed with his dog family, we wouldn't be able to have them as pets. Mrs. Brisbane was right as usual. If I had stayed with my family or even stayed at Pet-O-Rama, I wouldn't have the job of a classroom pet, and it's the best job in the world. Casey glanced over at our table. I guess Og doesn't remember his family. After all, tadpoles are on their own from the very beginning, she said. Og looks sad. Og looks sad. I think he looks if he's smiling, Mrs. Brisbane said. Look at his mouth. I'm sure about my friend chuckled as soon the subject changed. When Mrs. Brisbane announced another math quiz, I scurried to the front of my cage and looked at Casey. As usual, she looked worried. When she glanced over at my cage, I immediately hopped on my wheel and began to spin. Casey stared at me and then she closed her eyes and took some deep, long breaths. Mrs. Brisbane passed out the test papers. Casey took a few more deep breaths. I hopped off my wheel and watched her carefully. She didn't stare at her paper. She didn't hold her stomach. Casey picked up her pencil and began to read the question. She stopped every now and then to take a good long breath. And then, she wrote down her answers to more pages. It's already been 10 minutes. Up with 11 seconds. That's 12, 13. Okay. Good long breath. And then she wrote down her answers. She looked over at my cage from time to time, and I tried to be encouraging. You can do it, Casey, I said. You don't have to be perfect. Just do your best. Casey finished the test before most of my other classmates. When she was finished, she sat back in her chair and smiled. I was smiling too, though. I'm pretty sure no one else knew it. On her way out of the classroom for lunch, Mrs. Brisbane asked Casey how the math quiz went. I think I did pretty well, Casey said, and my stomach didn't hurt. At the end of the day, Mrs. Brisbane made an announcement. I think some of you know Otto Amato, our nighttime custodian, he said. He's Richie Ronaldo's uncle. Yeah, Richie, I squeaked. He was one of my friends from last year's class. Otto's wife just gave birth to twins. Mrs. Brisbane continued with a smile. A boy and a girl. The boy is named Marco after Otto's father. The girl is named Anna after Maria's mother. My friends began to clap. Marco and Anna. I didn't clap my paws, but I loudly squeaked, yes, 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 as they filled out of, yes, yes. Okay, I'm trying to scream, but I can't. 12 minutes is up. As they fled out of room 26, I heard my classmates buzzing around the new babies. They were as excited as I was. As soon as the classroom was empty, I jiggled the that doesn't look straight optics. Marco and Anna, I squeaked. A boy and a girl. Boing, boing. Boing, he replied. Then I glanced over at Flip and Flap swimming in their aquarium. They were also twins. I'd almost forgotten that Otto was my old pal. Richie's uncle was really an uncle too. Suddenly it seemed as if everybody in the world had family except me. I'll teach you this. I wasn't sure whenever Otto would be coming to clean that night, or if it would be Bob or some other strangers. But I wanted to make sure Kiki knew about the twins, so I took a chance to sit down with the lake and race on floor 26. Kiki was still awake when I made my way up to her feet. I'm glad you came, Humphrey, she said softly. I wanted to tell you that Otto's wife, Maria, had twins, a boy and a girl. I said, twins? He seemed confused. I explained that when humans have two babies at the same time, they're called twins. Oh, he said, that's very good news. She's like, I don't care. And that guy who came in to last night, he's just filling in for Otto, I said. Oh, Gigi repeated. I was a little scared when he came, but he was nice. I'm sure Otto will be back tonight, I said. He moved a little closer to me. Humphrey, I'm worried about something. What's wrong? I asked. For circus night, Miss Mac told us that our booth is called the Clown Toss, and people really go. And Clown Toss. Are people really going to throw clowns? That doesn't sound very nice, she said. It doesn't sound nice at all. Throwing things at people or animals isn't nice at all, especially if the people are funny and like to make people laugh like clowns. I think she might have been joking, I said, or maybe you misunderstood what she said. He nodded. I hope so. And something else, the children want me to wear a clown hat, but guinea pigs don't like to wear clothes. Neither do hamsters, said. I think that's because we're already wearing our fur coats, Gigi giggled. You always make me feel better, Humphrey. I was glad I made do you feel better? But I didn't feel so great about himself when the door opened later that night. I was looking forward to congrats Otto. Instead, Bob was back. Me again, he said as he pulled his cart through the door. Hi, I squeaked. Even though I was disappointed, I didn't want to hurt Bob's feelings. He dusted for a while and remembered to give Og and us our treats. I told my kids about you, he said. Now they'll want a hamster and frog too. Og sounded pleased. Bob was unsqueakably nice human, but I still missed Otto. I wonder whether he was ever coming back to Winter 6. And if not, why hadn't he at least told us goodbye? That night, I had a dream. I don't remember it very clearly, but there was a large, soft, furry creature who smelled wonderful, and I was snuggled up against its creature with some other small bits of fur. I felt so peaceful next to her, and I heard her say something to me. Look at this, she's sweet. No matter where you go, there'll always be a special golden boy. I woke up with a start and squeaked. What? The only word was oxdown. Sorry, I told him. I think I had a dream about my mother, some brothers and sisters too. Boing, I replied. I didn't tell him the rest of my dream. After all, he probably didn't remember his mother and father after all. And he was green, not a golden boy like me. Every spring things. I'm a little sad to see no branches on my family tree. See you guys in chapter 3. Bye.